Hello and welcome everyone to today's webinar, Stop Losing Money While You Sleep, How AI-powered SMS Transforms Lead Follow-Up. So excited to have so many attendees and guests with us here today. And this will be up on our YouTube channel soon as well. So very excited to have everyone here with us. So I'll take a few minutes just to introduce myself, and then we'll walk you through a demo. And then I'll hand it over to our guest speakers. And then we'll have some time at the end for you to ask some questions. So be thinking about those questions. Feel free to drop them in the chat. We want to keep this interactive as we go through today's presentation. All right, let's dive right in. So first of all, I'm Clinton. My wife and I currently live near Dallas with our two youngest. And we've been here about 5 years in this area. We moved from Washington State. Our children enjoy all kinds of sports and outdoor activities, so you'll likely find us outdoors. And why listen to me? What's my background? Well, my undergrad is in computer science, and then I have an MBA from the University of Washington, and I've spent over 9 years helping enterprises leverage AI for their businesses, and I'm excited to empower you with AI in your business. So where it began in 2016, when I was working at AWS, I helped launch 2 AI services, Amazon Poly and Amazon Recognition. So flashback to that time, these were new AI services. One was a text-to-speech engine. The other was an image recognition service. And AI voice assistants were brand new. Fast forward to today, now we have AI-powered receptionists who can help you avoid missed calls, get your nights and weekends back, and let you enjoy vacations while growing your business. So here's a quick timeline of AI receptionists. It began a long time ago. And so it's just nice to look at how far we've come and to appreciate all the effort and investment and research that's gone into this. So natural language processing began in the 1940s and was enhanced in the 60s with machine learning. In the 90s, there were early systems from Dragon, Nuance, and IBM, for example, for voice-controlled systems. And then in the 2010s, the cloud came on the scene, and we were able to train these AI assistants at a much faster scale. Today, we have AI-powered receptionists that are helping clients handle their customer interactions and automate tasks. And in the future, I believe these are going to be increasingly flexible and capable, able to handle complex interactions to let you provide personalized experiences for your clients. So the benefits with today's AI receptionists are more natural sounding voices, they're fast and responsive, and they gather all the prospect details and automate call flow, so you don't have to be so worried about inbound calls when you're in the middle of a client conversation or trying to enjoy dinner. So let's take a look at a use case here for a typical home services business. Let's say their average sales value is $800, and let's say they're missing 5 inbound calls per week. So the industry average response time is about 42 minutes, and let's say for this business, they're able to get to these calls within 30 minutes. That's fast, right? And we can't always answer or respond back that quickly. But if you look at the numbers, if you could respond within 1 minute, that could mean an incremental $9,600 a year in revenue for this business. The other challenge is that a lot of times calls come in before working hours or in the evening after businesses are closed. So when you add it all up, 5 missed leads a week, that's $260 per year, and at an $800 average deal size, that would be $208,000. Now, of course, no business is going to capture every single lead. Some are going to go to competitors, or it's just not the right time or a good fit for that business. But typically, a business can capture about 30% of those. And if they can, that means an incremental revenue of over $60,000 per year. But most importantly, now the stress relief, right, for the business owner. No more missed calls, no interruptions during their dinners or vacations, and no wasted time trying to text leads back to try to get contact details. So I've been blessed to work with so many amazing entrepreneurs and businesses, and here are a few examples of some of the businesses that I've been able to work with, and it's just been so exhilarating. Love seeing all the great examples coming through that we've had in our business and just seeing the results that we're able to get for them.
Scaling a team of receptionists is expensive. What if there was a new kind of reception? It's available 24/7, doesn't need breaks, maximizes productivity, and makes new sales for you. Learn more at madjaw.com.
So I'm really excited today because one of our guest speakers actually created this little short video clip and his team. And so we're excited to hear from them and learn more about what they do. Now let's dive in really quickly into a live demo to just show you what this capability looks like. So it used to be that AI receptionists were just about answering the phone, just voice AI. Well, now we've added the ability for them to use text messaging, SMS, to interact with new leads that are coming in so they don't fall through the cracks. So I want to show you a demo and let's just dive right into it. So let me bring up my screen here. Okay, and Noah, do you mind joining me in this as a collaborator here on this demo?
Sure thing. What can I do?
Awesome. Okay, so let's say that Noah has reached out and he's interested in Madjaw. So either he's called in or has filled out a form on our website or some other indication that he's got some interest. But it's been 48 hours and we haven't heard from Noah, or we weren't able to get back to him. Well, the nice thing is Sarah, this AI receptionist, can just reach out automatically to Noah to find out if he's interested in what we have to offer. Okay, so Noah, I'll let you respond to Sarah here. Is this that same Noah who was interested in AI receptionist a while ago?
Say, yep, that's the one.
Yep, that's the one. Okay, my manager asked me to reach out, but I hate annoying people with unwanted phone calls. Are you still interested in AI receptionist?
Say, sure, can you tell me more?
Absolutely. To start, what type of calls do you expect the AI receptionist to handle? This helps us figure out the right customizations for you.
Incoming client calls.
Yeah. Great. Thanks for sharing. How many calls do you receive on average each day? This will help us understand the system capacity you'll need.
About 8 to 10.
Nice. Thanks. When are you planning to implement the AI receptionist system? This way we can align with your timeline.
I would say within 3 weeks.
Perfect. Okay, that's a manageable timeline. Lastly, do you have a budget range in mind for implementing this AI solution? This helps us determine the best options for you.
Let's see, like 100 to 250.
Thanks for sharing that. Okay, we're confident we can help you. Would you be free to speak with an advisor now? They can provide more details on how we can tailor the AI receptionist to your needs.
Can I ask it to call me in 2 hours?
Boom. All right. I'll set that up for you. We'll call you from this phone number. Looking forward to our chat in 2 hours. So up at the top, you may have noticed that we went from a new lead to the lead responded. Then we qualified the lead, and now we've reached the objective, which is they want to have a conversation. So what do you think, Noah? Would this be helpful for all those calls coming in when you're trying to get work done?
That'd be much faster. That'd be much faster.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's pretty exciting stuff. And thank you, Noah, for being a good sport and being willing to help me with that demo. By the way, Noah, you were very kind, I have to say. Like sometimes on text messages, people respond like negatively. And so maybe we'll do that for a future demo, but it can
But it
handle those situations as well so
can
that
deal with
you're not
that.
annoying people.
Cool.
Fantastic. All right, let's just jump right back into our prezo here. Okay, so that was our live demo, and feel free to drop questions in the chat if you have them. So let's look at the value of an AI receptionist. So first of all, complete call transcripts, automated SMS messaging, and you just got a taste of the AI-based SMS conversations that are possible. 24/7 availability. By the way, they're always cheerful for some reason, even though we can be groggy or sleepy or frustrated at times. And they always have a nice sounding background. There's not a bunch of noise or interruptions, and they qualify all your inbound leads. Okay, Josh is asking, does this operate as a CRM as well, or does it just integrate with an existing CRM like High Level or MailChimp? Great question. So under the hood, you actually get access to a high-level instance. So you have the full CRM. You can create reminders and be able to follow up and track the progress of these. And there's a dashboard where you're going to see not only all the call records, but summaries of the calls, transcripts, and even sentiment. So the AI receptionist tracks how happy or frustrated the callers are. Yeah, and you can see all that there, and you can give it feedback on how it's doing. It's also got a portal where you can see the conversations for each of your individual contacts, or you can see it all in one big feed to see the most recent conversations, whether those were phone calls, text messages, or emails. Yeah, great question. So in terms of pricing, just want to let you know we have 4 spots remaining at the current offer, which is a 60-day trial and no setup fee. So we're waiving that $1,000 setup fee. So it's a great time to get in there. And just the starter package includes so much. What we've been showing you today is some of the SMS messaging that's possible. And we have a fast action bonus for those of you who move quickly and grab these last 4 spots. So if you're in the DFW Metroplex, we are offering $300 towards charcuterie from Graceful Gatherings for your next event to help you attract new clients. And so all you have to do is sign up now, and the first 4 who go through that sign up process will get this extra bonus. So another incentive here, hopefully to help you get started and boost your business. Okay, Josh is asking, Logan's saying, Dr. Logan says, Graceful Gatherings is the best. Yes, Graceful Gatherings. Okay, Josh is asking, does it chase leads or only comes from calls that come in and populate on an instance? Oh, great question. Yeah, so if you have a database of old leads and nothing's happening on those, if there aren't calls coming in all the time, your AI receptionist is free to start reaching out to them. And so you can do that in sort of a drip fashion where you start with maybe 10, 20 a day and then ramp up to 100 a day, 200 a day, etc., until you can be reaching out to thousands per day. So it does take a little bit of time to ramp that up, but yes, they can go out and chase leads. So you can have them respond to inbound leads right as they're coming in for what we call speed to lead. Or you can basically have it as a backup to your sales team. So if the sales team doesn't close a deal or get an appointment within 48 hours of the first time that lead comes in, you can then have the AI receptionist start to reach out. Or if you just have an old database, you can just start reaching out to them and warming them up, kind of waking them up and getting them more familiar with you and what you're offering, and let them ask questions or think about it. And as you saw in the example with Noah, he said, I'll be interested in a couple hours. They may say, I'm not going to be ready to have this conversation for a couple of months. Maybe something else is going on in their life and it's just not good timing. The AI receptionist will remember in a couple of months to start up that SMS conversation again. Yeah, great question. Oh, you bet. My pleasure, Josh. All right. So first of all, want to welcome our first guest speaker, Noah Wilde, co-founder of Ravie LLC. And so with that, Noah, I'm going to hand it over to you. So let me just stop sharing here for a moment. And then I'm going to promote you to make sure you can share your screen. Let me know if you're able to do that. Okay, so
How did that go?
great. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna scoot you guys over here. Wonderful. Well, what's up? Thank you so much for having us, me in particular. I'm here to talk to you guys about social media. I'll start by talking a bit about myself. Let's just hop into it. I'm not one to waste anyone's time, so I'm gonna be quick with it. All right. So I have a creative studio. This is a big metric here at the bottom, 50 million organic views. I'll show you how we got there, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I actually have to offer. So hello, my name is Noah Wilde. We know this is my wonderful co-founder, Austin Bowens. He is around, but not here right now. Nearly 6 years ago, we both dropped out of design college together to start Ravie our design advertising agency that helps brands make millions through creative direction, design, and animation. There's some of our work hiding behind our little faces and our logo. We're now a team of 10, and we have the privilege and honor to work with impactful brands as big as Walmart, all the way down to mom and pop shops and world-changing startups. It's fantastic. I love all the people that we work with. I really do. Over the course of this journey, we've also had the privilege of gaining massive notoriety in the advertising and motion design space to the point of Paris 2024 Olympics and worldwide musical artists reaching out to us on the regular, wanting to work with us. I wish I could say that was the case from the start. It was certainly not easy. I think most entrepreneurs and business owners can relate that it was a struggle at the beginning. It really was. We had almost no connections, very small body of work, no real clue how to run a creative agency or really any kind of business for that matter. So, how did we get to be a team of 10 working with massive worldwide companies, leading visual trends in the advertising space, and being well known in the industry that we had just entered? This gets relevant. Well, it's through the same mechanism that allowed us to grow during COVID and some of the worst years in our advertising space in the last decade. It's the same strategy that allowed us to grow a community of thousands of people willing to champion our work. And it also happens to be the place that Americans spend an average of more than 2 hours of their time a day on. You read the title, you know I'm talking about social media. I already told you that. It really is the single most powerful tool in modern businesses' arsenals when used well. It can be. I'm talking thousands, not hundreds of, if not hundreds of thousands of people suddenly interested in what you're doing. Leads coming in not just at a warm level, I will say, but at a hot, like ready to put down money level. Because they've already warmed themselves on your message, on what you're trying to say, on their content, on who you are. It's beyond like me trying to sell you relationship. It's like they are already invested. They're looking up to you in that way. They're following. They're here for you. And I mean, multi-million dollar businesses are being built on Instagram and TikTok just from content. Social media has become 30% of digital ad spend globally, which this year, by the way, is about $250 billion. And it's also growing as a big place, especially younger generations are actually discovering what to spend their money on. New brands, new services, all that. They're seeing it there. Now, that all sounds great, of course, but before I go and ask you to put any time or money into this, let's talk about how it could actually affect your business, and then you can decide if it's even a direction you want to explore. Is that fair? All right, so think about it with me for a second. Imagine your social media did well. Suddenly you're getting hundreds of thousands, if not even thousands, works interested in what you're doing. Imagine what your business could look like with just 20,000 people in your reach, just 20,000 more people. That's like a small stadium. Actually, it's a relatively big stadium. Okay, that looks like people coming to you, liking you already. They've essentially warmed themselves up. And that's whether you're B2B or B2C. We are a B2B company ourselves, and it has meant the world to us. I mean it. But that's a whole new funnel of potential money, of potential new people coming to see you, coming to pay for everything that you have, and already being interested in knowing the story behind it, whatever you give them, really. It's the numbers that we've been able to generate for ourselves on social media. It's been an absolute game changer. And we've seen it happen for other businesses too. Literally in the last year, we took a financial tech company and brought it from about 40K or less followers up to around 500, 600,000 people. And they were able to amass this audience because we were doing content with them. We were helping them post, we were helping them with their brand. And that kind of reach just changes a business forever. It just does. Before I actually move on, I also want to mention like what it did for our business. We started again with very little connections. And because we were so new, we made a lot of mistakes. I think a lot of people can empathize with that. And like just operation fluff, it gets in the way. You don't know how to do all the systems. You have to learn by trying. Sometimes you mess it up. In our case, it was very client services, right? So in those early days, we weren't very good at handling the clients. So oftentimes we would like mess up a relationship that could have been very profitable for us on the first project, and they wouldn't be repeat customers. And so we would have to go and get new one. These are like high ticket items, by the way. And if it wasn't for social media being able to be a funnel for us, then we just simply wouldn't exist as a business. It really is and was the lifeblood of our company. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a clearer picture. It's pretty impressive what you can do and how much it can really bring in like new avenues. It's insane. Usually though, when I talk about how much social media does for a business, business owners and founders get excited because it's exciting, but they also get this pit of dread in their stomach because they're smart and they know two things. One is they know how much it's costing their business generally to be not posting and not showing up on social media. It never feels good to lose out on money. I think we can agree on that. And two, they know it takes a lot of trying and usually a lot of money. Therefore, to unlock the insights you need to move forward confidently in a new sales venture. And let's be honest, for businesses, social media is exactly that. It's a new creative sales venture. And they know it's going to take like time and learning. So that pit in their stomach comes from knowing there's a lot of earning potential, contrasted with the simple lack of knowledge on where to start. That's literally why I'm here. That's why I'm here. I'm here to show you that you don't have to start from scratch alone with no clear direction. You don't have to do any of that super early trial and error, hoping and praying it works and trying to glean any little insights from it. In those early days, it feels really hopeless. It does. But don't worry, I literally did it for you. I'll put myself before the bullet here. Instead, I'd like to propose that you could just skip to understanding the game, hop right into being able to confidently take control of the marketing you do on social media and actually understand what makes things do well on social media in the first place. That would be pretty nice, pretty valuable, I think. So that's why I wrote this. So you can start with actual deep insider understanding and knowledge and a clear process to actually start chasing the social goals you want with confidence, not hiding behind like I'll do it next year or like maybe my cousin or my son will figure it out for me. Don't put that pressure on them. Like you can at least have the knowledge to start and then hire someone and give them that knowledge. So this comes from 5 years of trial and error and successes. And on a personal note, oftentimes businesses will come to us and they can't put forward a marketing budget that meets the costs we have to charge as a creative first company to stay in business. So I have always wanted a way to actually serve those businesses. And I'm just very excited that I can actually finally do it with this. So that's most of it. Let's talk about actually what's inside it. All right, so it gives you a clear understanding of how social media actually works, the people on the other side of the algorithm. Like, what's the psychology that actually gets people to care about stuff in the first place? Why does it do well at all? It feels a little random sometimes, but that's easily distillable. You can get through the fuss of it, and that's the clarity that I'm trying to offer. It also talks to you about what algorithms actually prioritize, what algorithms even do in the first place, how you can tailor content to be exciting, to make, gripping for your target audience, and actually hit the numbers that you can't even count to. It also walks you through what to prioritize for each platform, best practices, what metrics to actually pay attention to, along with what metrics even mean, what do likes mean, what do saves actually mean, what can you infer from your audience doing these sort of actions. And it also gives you a system that we've used to engineer our content to get over 50,000 views per post for a while. And you can check our socials on that one. This is again all coming from people who have done this for themselves. I would be a very bad marketer if I could ask people to spend money with us and I'll market everything and I'll give you these insights if I couldn't even do it for myself. So that's my personal account on the left. That's our business account that we a little bit neglected for years because we were focused on the other accounts. And then that's my co-founder's account on the right. These are just Instagram, by the way. The proof is there. By the way, good on you for even coming to these things, listening to this presentation. You clearly want to improve your business, and I think that's admirable. All right, real quick note. Do you know how many businesses don't have a clue how to use social media and then sink thousands and thousands of dollars into poorly performing posts? Seriously, do you have any idea? No, you don't, because you don't see their content because it performs so poorly. The ones you see are the cream of the crop. Social media is a very, very deep pool, and you only see the very top 99% of the time. Usually, a video with like a couple likes, you scroll right past. You don't even give it a second glance. There's a reason for that. It's social proof. I don't want you to be one of these businesses. I don't think you do either. So begin informed with knowledge and tools from people who have been doing this for years. So that all comes down. That's all wonderful. That's all great. But like, what does 5 years of marketing and social media knowledge cost? A whole lot more than I'm charging for it. I promise. I'm literally just priced a clean and simple 1K. Our minimum engagement as a company, by the way, is about 5 to 10, and that's on the low end. On top of all that gold, I'm going to add to this document. I'm going to build this and grow this. So you're not buying a subscription. You're not buying one thing that I toss out and I never look at again. Like, this is an evolving thing. If I'm out there learning, you're out there learning. This is yours for life. That's it. That's my whole presentation. I promise not to waste your time, and I meant it. If you're interested in making more money, getting thousands more eyes from your target audience on your business, email me, mention Madjaw. I'll send you the link. The link's also right there. There's a QR code since I'm just so tech savvy. And this isn't a public offering, by the way. This is the only place you can get it. This is not something that we tote around or give out. This is an exclusive thing for just mostly the people that come to me, my personal connections, and you guys. Now my personal connections. And if you want to see more of our work, Ravie.co. I'm Noah Damon Wilde. You can look me up anywhere. It's very, very accessible. That's it. Thank you so much to Madjaw for having me. I'll just leave that up for a moment.
Wow, thank you, Noah. Thank you for dropping all of that value, for sharing all of those insights, and for the collaboration that we've had. Yes, amazing. Oh, thank you, Michael, for dropping that in the chat. And please hold your questions. We're going to have a Q&A with Noah at the end. So thank you very much, Noah. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, exciting. Well, with that, we are happy to introduce our next guest speaker, Rey Rijo, owner of ProLift Garage Doors of Keller. So with this, I'm going to hand it over to Rey. Let me stop sharing my screen.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Interesting. I will keep it simple, won't say a whole lot, just a little bit about myself. Army vet, have been in sales for a long time and decided to start a garage door business. Crazy how I ended up here, but here I am. We have been in business for 3 years, right around the corner from 3 years. And we do garage door repairs, garage door replacements. We also do gates, automatic gates, and we do residential and commercial. It's essentially we step in, you call us, we fix it, problem goes away. We have a lot of experience doing commercial work and also big communities of apartments. So it's just kind of a fun thing. Didn't want to go in too deep of a presentation of too much to throw up. We do anything from like, simple garage door all the way up. If you wanted cedar doors or if you wanted doors that open crazy, something you saw online, we pretty much can do anything. Screens, if you wanted to put a screen in your garage, we do those as well. We use American made parts, which are really good. They last about 70% longer. So when you get a spring, that means say standard life of a spring's 10,000 cycles. And we increase that by 70%. So you can use that garage like a front door and not worry about it going out on you. That's kind of what I have to add. Don't know if there's any questions that anyone might have for me.
Thank you so much for joining us, Rey. Yes, if you have questions, please drop those in the chat and we'll get to those in the Q&A portion right at the end of the presentation. So we got one more guest presenter, and then we're going to get back to those questions. So if you have questions about Rey, he is amazing in his background and how he started his businesses and the philosophy he uses to run those. So drop those questions in the chat for our Q&A portion. Thank you so much, Rey, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, sir.
You bet. All right, with that, I'm going to bring up my screen here and introduce our final guest speaker for today. So excited to introduce to you Joshua, founder of Heroic Performance. So Josh and I have been speaking now for a while, and he's doing some incredible work. So I wanted to bring him on as a guest for my audience, just to make sure that everyone has a chance to learn about the things that he's teaching and the success that he's had in his business. So with that, let me go ahead and stop sharing. And Josh, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you, Clinton. Are we all good? Can we hear me?
Yes, indeed. Thanks for joining us.
Perfect. Great to connect with you all. I wanted to put together something very simply. I'm going to be a little bit different. I'm not selling you in the sense of anything in terms of a product in this moment. I am a health coach here in Los Angeles. I do elite wellness and therapy. And through an evolution and through multiple connections, Clinton and I found one another via a speaker group. And we're connecting to do something on the back end for training and for creating a better platform for youth performance. But really the flagship of my next endeavor is coaching and helping people start to get a better grasp on how to actually fix their sleep. I'm creating a health ecosystem. And what that means in terms of a health ecosystem is not only supplementation that you can trust, but education to go with it, as well as the appropriate breakdown, coaching, and kind of that full circle embrace that someone needs to actually make real change in their life. The company's name is Vibrant. We are in manufacturing right now for our first product that we are coming out with is Vibrant Sleep. And then from there, it will move into a men and women's kind of category. And when it comes to the supplementation world, I don't know how much any of you pay attention to it or not, but a lot of it is like the Wild West, right? So there is this random assortment of good and bad quality products and brands that you believe in. You don't really actually know if they're truly dosing their product the way it should be. And that's called pixie dusting. And I wanted to create a product. I've been a coach for 15 years. I help high-level clients all over LA, but then nationally as well. And I wanted a product and a brand that someone could look at and go, yeah, I believe in what they're doing. And so enter Vibrant. And I went after sleep here in the beginning. So this is for anyone really paying attention. This is just a chance for you to kind of look at your own coaching. That's all I want to do here is coach you for 5 minutes, right? When we look at sleep and we look at all of the statistical analysis of why someone fails, and as a trainer, as a coach, I'm holistic by nature. I coach sleep, exercise, nutrition, stress, and social relationships. And sleep is usually the lowest hanging fruit that most people mess up, that has the highest return when it comes to, if we can fix this thing, so many things balance, from hormones to libido, to your effort and energy in your workout and your life, your focus, your awareness during the day, your longevity. We talk like lifelong opportunity, right? And so I went down the rabbit hole, and I'm finishing my first publication here called Sleep 101, and it's going to be associated with our product. And anyone who buys the product will have access to this book. And it's basically how to actually tactfully, from a coach's point of view, fix your sleep. And we see 5 buckets of sleep failure. We all have some version of this, no matter who we are. And it's kind of a ladder. So the overarching theme is that lifestyle takes a hold. Habits create the lifestyle. Stressors create your habits. Internal imbalances create those stressors. And then a single-sided approach or a single-minded approach is what really has someone miss the overarching theme of all of this has to come together to create success in sleep, right? And that was the whole point of creating Vibrant. The lifestyle is the hardest to fix, right? I said it's a sum of all your habits, routines, and responsibilities. So it's everything comes together to create your lifestyle. And what this means is, think of that executive entrepreneur traveling all over the place, right? He's on the plane all the time. His lifestyle, all the things that create the day-to-day do not promote a quality of life that is healthy, so to speak, right? When we talk about habits, now we're getting into your actual sleep hygiene, right? These are the things you can actually control and start to change. Do I go to bed on time? Do I wake up on time? Am I eating appropriately? Do I cut caffeine out at 12? Do I think about posture, temperature, positioning of bed, sunlight in the morning? All of these things are habits that create our hygiene for sleep, right? And I'm going a little fast here because I don't want to take up too much time. When we look at stress, this builds into your habits. So these become the unavoidable killers, right? That executive that's traveling around, the family that has, you have kids screaming at you at 8:30 at night, they don't want to do homework. That's stress. That directly impacts what you're doing in terms of or how you're performing when it comes to sleep. And unfortunately, you can't control all of the stress, but you can control how your body manages stress. Sometimes supplementation works. Sometimes it's exercise. Sometimes it's breathing. It's not a one size fits all, but understanding that we can control the stress and the habits that we form will help with that. And that all plays into our lifestyle. For instance, that high traveling executive, how does that person eat before, during, and after they get on a plane? Sorry, there's a car alarm going off outside. But how does that person, directly impact their life through their travel to have a better response internally? And that's what the stress does. I've created the Vibrant Sleep product to tackle this. It's your internal imbalances. And, we take multivitamins and supplementation for the rest of our day. Why is sleep science just coming about in terms of creating something that your body will thrive off of, that's natural, that will really help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and get better, more efficable sleep each night? And that's what I wanted to create. It's a non-habit forming, all natural, organic sleep product. We should be releasing in about 7 weeks at this point. We're in manufacturing, but that's to take care of the internal imbalances. And this is stuff that you just kind of have to know what to take, but that's why I put together an all-encompassing product. Last but not least is a single-sided mindset when we talk about the approach to fixing your sleep. Don't tackle one thing. Think about all of it as a ball of wax to make yourself healthier each and every day, right? I wanted to just share a little bit of a presentation that I had created. That's a bigger presentation as a coach here. But the thought process is to give you a little bit to chew on and think about in your own life each and every day. The way we kind of come at this as Vibrant is to put it all together and give you kind of tools to success. So my big offer in this isn't going to be anything you purchase. A part of Vibrant is a community that I've built, and it has a 30-day sleep challenge in it. That is a step-by-step guide that I've built in 30 days. It's of a 90-day program, but the 30 days is for anybody to tackle. You can do it today. It's up and running, and it's my direct coaching. I'm going to leave a link in the chat. Click it, join it. I do calls every Wednesday, and it's a free community for anybody to want to join. I hope to see you all there. The product will be out soon, and it's an exciting kind of shift in what I hope to be a really opportunistic idea in the health and wellness space that you don't see products do. How many people or how many times do you see a product come out, a multivitamin, a sleep supplement, something that has no support? You have no idea how to take it, when to take it, what to do with it. What shouldn't I take? What should I eat? When shouldn't I eat it? All of that has to come together, and that's where we're trying to be a little bit different. And I can't wait, as Clinton was just doing his AI receptionist, and I can't wait to introduce AI into this as well. So that's going to be a whole point of it as well. But Clinton, thank you so much for having me, and for everybody for listening to me rant. So I hope you all sleep a little bit better tonight.
Thank you so much, Josh. So great to have you on the program here today and to share this exciting news. I mean, that's a really important factor. Josh is such an expert at coaching, and he himself has attained very high levels of performance. And although he's pretty humble about it, but don't let him fool you. Like, he is quite an athlete himself. And then teaching and coaching these young athletes to achieve new levels that we never thought were possible. And we're excited to help like D1 players come out of their college careers and go into coaching. And I think sleep is going to be an important aspect of success, whether for young kids and teenagers, but also for adults as we get into our working lives. So thank you very much for taking the time, Josh, to be with us today.
Of course, buddy. Thank you for having me, Clinton.
You bet. Okay, so now it's time for the Q&A, and excited to get this conversation rolling. So we've got our guest speakers here, and we've got a couple of questions that have come in already, and feel free to drop more into the chat. Okay, so let's see. There was a question about The offer, okay, I think we answered that, Michael. Thank you. By the way, we are down now to 3 open slots on AI receptionist. So really excited about that. Okay, then there was a question. Okay, getting Ray's contact info. Yeah, and if you have questions for Ray about how he launched his business, it's an incredible story. Definitely drop those in there. Okay, so let's see. Michael was asking, okay, I'm a business coach. Is this something new or is something you create, the hot buyer leads? This is uber crowded space. Okay, asking Noah. So Noah, this is a question for you. And do you mind talking about that a little bit? Or maybe Michael, do you want to elaborate just a little bit on your question there?
Sure. So yeah, it is for Noah. So Noah, yeah, very familiar with the, what I call the 5 levels of social media, with YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the free stuff that you can throw out there, LinkedIn, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the coaching space for businesses and individuals is just uber saturated. Is this something that you've worked with before that you think you can assist with getting some hot leads in the door and really being able to drive the business a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a different approach in that there is no niche that is oversaturated. The assumption that it's oversaturated is because you see a lot of things and you see a lot of people copying each other. Um, every time someone does something new in a niche, it is copied by basically all the rest of the people.
Mhm.
That's happened to me personally a whole bunch. Like my personal style has been duplicated. Our personal like advertising like way that we made videos has been copied like to death that it's like annoyed other creative director friends because they're like people keep putting this on our mood boards and like what the hell, which is pretty funny. But like generally social media niches, especially in like business coaching, a thing to literally make money, like there is no shortage of viewers. It's just easy to assume that because you see a lot of that because the algorithm like funnels that if it believes that's the content you like, it's going to give you like as much of it as you can, as it possibly can. So really a niche is never oversaturated. There's always a surplus of new businesses and there's always a growing viewership base that will always continue to outpace the growth in creators in any certain niche. Like it's just an insanely growing field to think that like, oh, there's enough creators in one area is entirely wrong because it's like, oh, in most business areas, like, is there enough businesses? Like until one does something different and then suddenly they're on top. Like that's just how it kind of works. If that
Okay.
answers your question,
Yeah,
let me
no,
know.
yeah, no, I sent you an email. I'd like to connect a little bit further on this for sure.
Sure, absolutely.
Great
I'll toss that
question. Yeah,
information in the chat, by the way, that I have at the end of my deck.
nice. Yeah, thank you so much for that opportunity, Noah. And I've got to say, my experience working with Noah and his team, Austin and Jackson, and some of those other folks on the team, they're just incredible. And what's really nice about what they do is, well, first of all, we know in this noisy environment, it takes more touches, right? So it used to be good enough to have 3 to 5 touches. Now, instead of 7, we're up to 20 touches. So if you can get these quick outreaches through social, these touches to warm up people, such an amazing help. And then what's really great too is their team really helps to bring out what's unique about you and your offering, because ultimately at the end of the day, it's about that trust, right? Okay, Ray's got a question for Noah as well. Go ahead, Ray.
Something that we see every day, and I have yet to find. I've only encountered one company to do it, so I'm curious if you do it. So, if you notice how you look something up, or you talk to your friend about, hey man, I'm thinking about getting a Ram 2500, and then all of
Mhm.
a sudden a dealership starts targeting you with Ram 2500 commercials and the opportunity to get it in their funnel. But
Mhm.
nobody offers that. I've only met one company, and I was curious if you did anything like that, if you knew how to do it.
We mostly prioritize social and brand building, which is why the expertise come through that. But what you're talking about is more like SEO, retargeting, marketing. We don't personally do that, but I'm sure I could find someone, connect you with someone in my network that does. So if you want to shoot me an email about that, I'm happy to take a peek around if I can.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's a big, deep field of a lot of technical expertise, but we're more on the people side, on the feeling and the design.
Yeah, that's a
Understand.
great question, Ray. And I'm excited that you asked that question because literally yesterday, we just launched a new capability for omni-channel lead generation and outreach and marketing. So you can basically put in a keyword or set of keywords for a certain zip code. If people search for those keywords, you can get the contact info and then run an omni-channel campaign using social media, using display ads, mailers, and even cable TV ads. So you can show up on their television. So yeah, I would love to chat with you about
That's
that. It's
exactly. Yeah,
new stuff.
exactly what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
So you do that?
Very good. Awesome. Oh, thanks, Noah, for dropping your offer in there in the chat. That's awesome. Okay, and then Josh, thank you for dropping that link in there for your sleep community. Do you mind just telling us really briefly about that, Josh, about the community and kind of the goals or what you foresee with that community, what the vision is to have on that school community? That's awesome.
So the school community, it's basically one of the pieces to the ecosystem, and it's meant to allow me an opportunity to guide people each and every day, week by week, through kind of starting to create successful habits. So there's a 30-day challenge in there, and it's open for anyone to do. You just start it and you can run through it. It's a day-by-day coaching. The videos aren't uploaded yet, as I'm actually, this is the first time I've offered it, as I'm literally finishing building it. But it's basically my coaching week by week. You'll have there's live calls with me that you can hop in or not, just like this. And it's real-time help for people. The goal of that is to accompany the actual product to give people support as they're starting to really kind of take control of their life and feel a little bit better. So the community is a piece to the bigger portion, but it's a way for me to help people for free.
Oh, phenomenal. Yeah, looking forward to sharing that with others. All right, well,
Thank you.
great questions, everyone. Thanks for diving in here, and thanks to our guest presenters for your participation today. And with that, we'll go ahead and wrap it up and look forward to seeing you next month for the next webinar. Thank you again to our guests. Appreciate it. Noah, Ray, Josh, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Clinton. Clinton, if you've got 5 minutes, you hop on a call.
Sure, let's do it.
Thank you much, man. I hope you have a great day.